problem is your mental health. Okay, it's your brain essentially. So what is the solution to mental health? Mental health, it's love. And what is the ultimate form of love? It's God. This is episode 15 or 14 of the Only Way podcast here.
Wow.
We're recording this downstairs today because our family's up there cleaning. But switch the location up a bit just for fun. But this podcast is just going to be about like mental health and how that stuff relates to like our normal lives, but also with God. Like I know we all, especially like we can relate some of our mental aspects of our life with reading the Bible and how that made us more, I guess you can say, just more able to deal with the symptoms of mental health, because mental health at the end of the day, that's the core problem of a lot of these symptoms that we experience. Like depression is a symptom of poor mental health. Lack of sleep is a symptom of poor mental health. A lot of the things that we deal with nowadays in this modern world is simply just a symptom of poor mental health. So in this podcast, we're attempting to give you guys something to relate to, possibly, and then also some maybe advice that can relate to if you're going through something with mental health, or if you have some like mental health problem or something like that. Because even if you don't think you do, we all do. We just have it at different levels. Mentally being prepared for stuff and mental is the second aspect of our life versus physical. And if you really think that you don't have any mental problems, because we all do, because we're not perfect, then maybe this isn't your type of video, because you have to first realize that you just like us might have some mental problems, even if it's not at the extreme level that we do. Like simply hopping on your phone because you don't know what to do could be considered a symptom of mental problems, because you can't entertain yourself just like our ancestors did.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I could say is, a big part of why so many people struggle with, mental health nowadays is really just social media. And, everyone's on social media, so it's not like everyone's struggling. Like my brother was saying, like everyone struggles with it. It's just you got to realize it, because everyone's on social media, and you'll go on social media, and just by simply the negative comments or something like that, all that stuff affects you, or the stuff you just see in general just can affect you and really just ruin your mental health. And like it will really, it's sometimes crazy, like what you'll see on social media that could really just affect you, and you won't realize it at the moment, but through time, just from picking up your phone and just going on TikTok for just a couple hours, just the stuff you're seeing, the way people talk, the way people comment, it really does affect your mental health. And I can definitely be a example of that, because I've been on TikTok before, or any other social media, and have seen like things like, oh, I probably shouldn't have seen this, and it really does, like it really messes with your brain a little bit, and it really just makes you sometimes feel some type of way. Like if you see, I don't know, like someone, let's just say someone getting hurt or something bad happening to someone, you're like it just affects you. Like you won't realize it at the moment, but it truly does affect the way you think. And also in general, just like another source of social media, like Discord, talking to friends, that could easily affect your mental health too, because let's say you're like arguing with one of them, or they're posting pictures, or they're posting like videos on there that you don't want to see, that could also affect your mental health. So I think a big part of just genuinely why so many people struggle with mental health nowadays, because I feel like before, like so many like years and decades ago, people less struggled with this, because it's like then social media wasn't a thing, so it's like you didn't have to worry about a lot of that. But nowadays it's like social media just completely messes up all of us, and the way we think, the way we do things. Like everyone's just trying to be the same. It's because of social media, and that's why so many people struggle with mental health. So that's my input on mental health, and that's one of the reasons why so many people struggle with mental health. It's because of social media.
Yeah, and then following up on social media, that's definitely very influential, because like you can't really. I remember when social media first started, it wasn't as explicit as it is today, especially for you guys' age. When you signed up for social media, it would ask you your age, and I think it used to filter what you were seeing. it just didn't like show you everything and anything. And if you wanted to search for things that were just not approved, you would have to go deep into the web to even look for that. And I didn't do that. I didn't have time for that. I was just surfing through the web, and a lot of it was just more, not saying that it was perfect, because anything man-made is not perfect, but it was a lot more filtered, than what you see today. I mean, now you have a variety of different channels that you can like look for just anything, basically. Like, you don't really have to go deep into the web to see something that will influence you, or if you're like some kind of person that's like very well known, people just like making fun of you. People will make fun of you. Like, there definitely is a version of bullying on the internet, which is cyberbullying. And then just like there is in the physical realm, as well, like, physically you can deal with that. And a lot of us like to kind of bring our problems to the forefront in the wrong way, like telling everybody your business. I don't think everyone should know your business, but if there is someone who you really, really confide in, most importantly, God, you trust, right? Where he says, the weary, come to me, the weary and the burden, and I shall give you rest. That is Matthew 11:28. That verse right there, he's basically telling us, Jesus was telling you, to come to me, and I got you, and sometimes when he answers your prayer, he doesn't answer them in the way you think or you classify that he should answer it. He answers it to you, but in a way where as though it's very touching. And if you are not open to receive what he's giving you, which is a message, if you're not open, then you're going to miss it. A lot of us miss the point. A lot of us, when we're reading the Bible, where Jesus speaks in parables, God speaks in parables, we miss the point. And it's because we're not open. We're like, our vision has been blurred. And if your vision is blurred, then we need to seek him more. We need to pray more. Basically, mental health has been a thing for me when it comes to just life in general. Being a father, I don't really like classifying any, like, mental health is like a word that we now use. It's kind of like a trend now, and I feel like it's bringing a lot of us, it's classifying us in a way where we are like just more dumbed down. And I'm not saying that, that like we're oblivious, right? But we understand what's going on here. And a lot of the problems here are like, we're taking on this burden that we don't really we don't need this burden, we take it on like it's our war, but it's really not our war. It's his. And that's the thing. That's the one thing that we kind of tend to forget, is that we're not fighting this fight alone. A lot of us like to kind of think that we're alone in this, and I'm telling you, before I knew God the way I know him now, I used to think that I had my own, like, my problems were my problems, and I was dealing with it alone. Therefore, I was the only one capable of even answering my own questions, answering my own problems, and that didn't lead me far. It led me as far as a black hole. All right, it's like the hole just kept getting deeper, and it just, there was no end to it, and I felt like I was just now overwhelmed by darkness. I felt like I had no answer. I felt like like this was just becoming a deep problem, and I didn't know how to fix it. And that was the problem, is that I was trying to fix it myself. And yeah, you don't do that, because when you do that, you feel hopeless. You feel like no one's there to grab your hand. No one understands you. And when I say, share, like speaking about your problems out there in the open is bad. It's as bad as it sounds. It's like letting anyone in your house. Like, would you let anyone just come into your house? No. And that's how God is, because he says it. He says it in Matthew 15:6. No, I'm sorry, 7:21, where he says, "Not everyone who says, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only one that does the will of my Father." So not just anyone is going to enter the kingdom of heaven. So not just anyone should enter your house. You understand? If you have certain values that you value, morals that you hold, standards, not everyone is welcome, because these are the rules of your house. And like in the house of prayer, right? Jesus, what did he do when he entered the temple? He noticed how everyone was, there was like selling doves, money was being exchanged, and he was like, "This is the house of prayer. This is my Father's house. This is not supposed to be for this." And he was really pissed off, and he just slammed tables and stuff. Not anyone is worthy to enter the kingdom of heaven. So not everyone is worthy to enter your brain, to enter your mental. You understand? But God, when he says, "Come to me, the weary and the burdened, and I shall give you rest," he's saying anyone and everyone, he's giving everyone an opportunity to come to him with your problems and let him take the burden and handle it for you. Because not everyone can drink the cup of his cup. The cup that he drank, where he sacrificed himself for all of us. We can't do that. We can't replicate that. Not in this day and age. No man can. And he did. And he did it because of this moment, where when you feel hopeless and you feel like you need someone to hold your hand, someone to carry you, or give you some kind of answer, or give you some kind of path. Because a lot of us just, we don't have direction. And because we don't have direction, we feel lost. And I know that sometimes for me, in order for me to keep my brain, at still and focus, I need direction. I need a path. I need goals. A person without a goal in mind is like directionless, if that's even a word. Like you will get into your own thoughts, and your own thoughts are going to be racing so far ahead of you. You're going to be thinking so fast that you're not going to be able to concentrate on one thing. And that's what you need to concentrate, is on one thing. I know that when I'm overwhelmed with so many thoughts, if something's happening to me and they're just happening so much that I just can't think about one thing, that's when I start getting into my own little, I guess, dark wall, or not wall, but a void that is just empty. And it's because I'm thinking too much. And that's where we need to start thinking more, but more of one thing, and then one moment at a time. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it on because I'll go on. But
So there's this one guy on YouTube that when you said when you have like a lot of options, a lot of things going on, you feel like anxiety essentially. There's this one guy on YouTube which I think is very helpful when it comes to like dealing with any mental things that you have going on. Is that he puts a lot of these words like anxiety and stuff into actual definitions. Like he says, you feel anxiety when you have a lot of options, but you don't know which one to choose. And that when you're sad, you actually just don't have any options. So putting that into definition, when you are feeling anxiety, what you need to do is you need to take out a notebook, or you need to go to God and you need to figure out which one do you have to do, which option do you need, instead of just saying to yourself that, oh, my anxiety is kicking in. Because when you tell yourself my anxiety is kicking in, and when you tell yourself I have stage fright, or when you tell yourself I'm sad, or I just feel depressed today, dude. Like if a friend texts you want to go out and do something, and you respond back, I just feel sad today, dude. It's like when you tell yourself that, like faith is probably the most powerful thing we can ever have in this world. Of course, faith in God is the most powerful. But because faith as itself is just so powerful, when we tell ourselves and we have faith in ourselves that we are sad or we are depressed, that faith alone can lead to downfield. Like there's studies, I think there's this one study, I don't know what exactly it's called, but I know the grasp of it. It was like, I think it was these cleaning ladies who clean hotels, and these scientists or whatever, the people who did the study, they took two groups of the cleaning ladies. They told one group that because you're cleaning, you're moving around so much, you like burn a lot of these calories and stuff, and you like burn a lot of stuff. And they didn't tell the other group that. And when they, you know, tracked how much calories they actually burned and how much fat they actually lost, they came to find out that the group that they told that they were burning more calories actually burnt more calories because they believed that they did that. There's stuff like that with milkshakes. You know, you can give a person 2 milkshakes, say one is a protein shake, say one isn't, and then because of their power of belief, the person who thought they drank the protein shake, even though it's just a regular milkshake, their body will actually start digesting that like it was a protein shake. Now it's incredible to think about, because especially if you don't even have faith in God, you can't believe anything out of what you see. Like, especially if you can't believe anything unless you see it, which is bad. You should, you know, you can't prove anything in this world. You know, we get comments and they ask us, you know, I'm replying to the comments, they ask us, oh, how can you prove this? And like, my response is, I can't prove anything to you. I can't prove that your brother who you sleep with every single night, I can't prove that he won't get a knife and stab you. I can't prove that. You can't prove that either. You can't prove that the doctor you're going to won't give you poison. You have faith. The heck, bro? We got smoke bombed. But you have faith that those people won't do that to you. Because at the end of the world that we live in is based off of faith. And when you put your faith in the Almighty, when you put your faith in Jesus Christ, you realize how you don't have these mental issues. I don't even know how to describe it, but you just feel relieved. Like, depression doesn't exist. You know, there's this quote, this guy named Hamza on YouTube. He said, "You feel depressed when you act like humans aren't supposed to act." Now, with that quote, how come I don't feel depressed when I'm following God? Because humans are supposed to follow God. We're supposed to have faith in God. Okay? Faith in itself, like, you know, this is atheists, whatever, people who don't believe in anything, essentially. That's what, actually, no, atheist stands for people who don't believe in anything, and then they attack the people who do. So I forgot what the word is for people who just don't believe in anything and just choose not to believe in anything. But when I think about it nowadays, I don't know how they can live a life like that. I don't know how I did just living a life simply thinking about the next year and not for eternity. I don't know how you talked about this in the car the other day. You said, I truly believe that people choose to log off the game based off of what did you say? I think it was like selfishness.
Or maybe
selfishness. But it was something else that you said.
Maybe selfishness.
But he said that people choose to log off the game, and you know what I mean by that, because of selfishness, because they can't handle it. That is ultimate form of selfishness. That's why God does not reward that. No matter what faith you have, God does not reward that, because that is basically saying, I can't handle my pain, I'm gonna give it to everybody else. I'm gonna give my pain to everybody else. I'll pass it to you, but last thing. At the end of the day, the cure to depression, which is the end of the spectrum when it comes to mental health, the cure to anxiety, you know, having too many options, you need someone to choose. You need someone to help you choose and find purpose. Purpose is a big one. Once you have purpose, you realize mental health ain't a struggle for you anymore. The cure to all of that is just faith in God. Because faith, you know, Psalm 23, I don't know the whole thing, but, you know, says the Lord says he leads me. One of the things that he says, he leads me in the paths of righteousness for his own sake. We're gonna find our path of righteousness if you follow the Lord. Yeah, I'm trying to learn Psalm 23 by heart, but, you know, that's something I remember. So once you have purpose, once you have faith in God, like, mental health ain't an issue, depression ain't an issue, because you realize that the Lord, he sees your heart and he knows how you feel and he will help you.
Yeah, just to clarify, the thing that you saw that was smoke,
The smoke bomb
was not like anything like that you probably think it is. It was air freshener kind of thing.
Yeah.
That he bought, makes the room smell good. It's like you could show it if you want.
No,
It's just
the air freshener.
It's just an air freshener.
It was
just
the power of the air freshener.
It's the power of the air freshener. It wasn't anything, you know, bad. But yeah, I mean, just like my brother said, I think the whole message really of this video truly is to just if you are struggling with mental health, there's only one cure for it. There's only one way to go to help you not feel that way, and that is God. There is no other way. I'm pretty sure we can all agree, ever since we started following God, that we felt like we've been cleansed. We felt like so much weight has been lifted off our shoulders, because you don't have to worry about anything when you have God, because God will provide for you. And so if you are struggling with mental health, let's say you just stumble upon this video, you're struggling with mental health, maybe you even just like you're watching this video, you're like, whatever, like just wait, just listen. Think about it. Maybe just take a little bit of, maybe you need to do a little bit of reflection, right? Maybe after you're done this video, turn it off, sit down in your bed and think about, maybe I should go try to give my life to God, give my life to Christ. Go get, start off with just trying to pray. Just pray first. Pray to God, and you will feel something. You will feel His presence. You will know that He is there trying to help you, and then just give your life to Him, because you will. The mental health, that whole thing that you're feeling, it will go away when you give your life to God. And I mean, yeah, people think nowadays, in order to cure mental health, you need to go to a therapist, all this stuff. I mean, that's the worldly way. But if you want the true way, the real therapist is God and the Bible. You go to the Bible, you go to God, and that's all you need right there. So that's all I have to say. But
all right, so I also want to put in here too, like, for me, people ask me, how do you work out every day? Which I've been taking one day off, which is Sundays now, but I used to work out every day, and I kind of feel like working out right now. But it's something that I have to kind of remember to understand that it's not needed sometimes. It's not always needed. Sometimes peace. Sometimes doing nothing, absolutely nothing, is okay. Again, everything in moderation. But I just want to say, I like going to the gym because I can self-reflect there. I can, lift things, if you want to say, run my mind on the steps or on the treadmill, whatever the case may be. You could do that outside. Maybe going outside, taking a walk, breathing in all the elements that are just given to you for free, okay? But I also want to say, too, is like, don't look for the label. Don't look to diagnose yourself with a problem. Don't look for someone to say that you're probably going through some kind of mental depression. Don't do that. Don't try to self-diagnose. Don't look to the internet for the answers. Because I feel like when you do that, that's when you find more problems and more problems. It's like if your dog, right? Your dog is a reflection of you. As a dog owner, they are a reflection of you, or any animal, right? And if you take them to the doctors, and the doctors now tell you that there's something wrong with your dog. Again, the dog is a reflection of you. If you're happy, the dog is happy. Okay, I mean, yeah, on some occasions the dog is going to get sick and is going to actually look sick, but most of the time the dog is the same way the owner is. Sometimes, they vibe off of us, off of our energy, and if the doctor tells me that my dog only has 2 days to live, then that's going to affect me, because now I've been diagnosed. And it's a diagnosis of my dog's problem, but it's now affecting me, because now I feel like I'm going to lose him. And the dog is not going to understand that. The dog is going to feel us. He's going to feel our heart. And they're so compassionate. Our animals are so compassionate. They feel more like, they're very emotional creatures. They can actually understand that the owner is now feeling some kind of way. That dog is going to give up on life, and it's going to deteriorate quickly, or sometimes it's the opposite, where they told us that our dog will die in a month and spend alive for the next 5 years. But that's because you didn't believe it. It's because you said, no, he's not. He's full of energy. He's going to do all of this, and he's going to thrive. You'll see. And boom, he's thriving 5 years later. Okay, so when you choose to accept what someone is telling you, then you've already failed. You've been conquered. You're easily influenced. And that's what I'm trying to say, is like, don't look for the label. Recently, we just had a cell phone outage. If you made it this far, good for you, because now you're getting into the deep and rooted parts of this video. But we had a outage regarding cell phones and towers and all that stuff. You know, we're in the time right now in this life where we're so addicted to our cell phones. It's everything, whether it's gaming, making phone calls, working, social media, moguls, everything, you can name it, where we use these phones for everything. People were going insane. People were losing their minds. People were saying so many things. People were crying because they didn't have a way to access their phones. A lot of us use it for so many things. And it may not have affected you, but it affected somebody who you knew, who they knew, and it's a domino effect because we are so easily influenced by these things. In this time and era, we are set to fail because if that fails, we fail. And what better way than a version of synchronized chaos to make us all go boom, crazy. All right. Now everybody's going through some kind of mental health situation. OK, because now we're losing it. And it shouldn't be that way. It should never be that way. And it's because we rely so much on something else. Instead of this, we rely on something else. And now, if your way of coping through this is probably seeking a counselor, okay. Because you know what? Jesus was counseling us when he was around. He was counseling us, you know, and he is still counseling us because he did not come to this world to get ministered on, but to minister unto others. Okay. And if you are powered by the Holy Ghost, okay, then you are a child of God. And because of that, you are to minister unto others. That is our job. Our job as a human being, you know, worshiping and praising our Lord is to minister unto others, is to minister the word, the gospel that he's given to us, to others, so that we can help others, you know, reflect and see where we're coming from and glorify the Father who we serve. Okay, because that's basically what this is all about. It's about helping each other out, and I think we need us more than anything else. In my way, if I can help you through a few words here and there, then I am doing myself justice, because now I'm helping someone when I didn't have help myself. When I didn't know God the way I know God now, I was going through so much, and I couldn't go to someone. I didn't have an older brother. I was the oldest, and it was kind of hard to find direction because I didn't have anybody grabbing my hand telling me, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you shave. This is how you cut the hairs under your arm. If you ever, hopefully you don't do that. But this is how you brush your teeth. This is how you, like, I didn't have any of that. So it was like I was learning everything for the very first time through my eyes. And I used to have a speech impediment problem where I was stuttering like crazy. And someone who I consider my mom, which was it's like my best friend, who's like a brother to me. His mom told me to stop talking so fast. Take your time. All right, I'm still gonna be here, even if it takes you 20 minutes to tell me some simple sentence that someone else could easily say in a matter of seconds. Okay, and I didn't know how to take my time. I wasn't patient enough. And when I saw that she took the time, because she loves me, she took the time to hear me out and understand what I was trying to say, I then started taking my time. And because of that love, okay, not a program after school, or that's going to take you like forever to learn. Because again, who wants to take more time out of their day to go back to a program after you're done school to learn, I got a speech problem. Like, no, I didn't want to do that. But because she loved me, she took the time to help me understand that I had a situation here. I had a problem. And if I had gone to a doctor or a speech therapist, right, it would have been like, yeah, he does have a problem. And now, because you hear that, you're scared. You're like, oh, I have a problem? Man, now you're going to feel less confident. All right, you're not gonna feel like you could tackle, or you're not gonna feel like happy talking, because now you know that you have a problem. They all say that I have a problem, so now I don't want nobody to know my problem. So I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna keep my mouth closed. No. Listen to the ones who love you, All right. So like I said, if you are going through some kind of depression, that's fine. It's okay. Go to someone, okay, who loves you, okay, who loves you, because through the power of love, because God is love. I think you said that, right? You said God is love. I think you said that, or maybe it was a different conversation. Yeah, our sister, she had mentioned, our sister, my daughter, their sister, had mentioned something about how God is love, and God is love. God is love, right? So if someone is loving you that well, all right, that they're able to take the time and to help, basically listen to you, because sometimes we just need someone to listen to us. No judgment, just listen to me. Listen to me vent. Even if it makes no sense, listen to me vent. And she was listening to me, and because of that, through the power of love, I was able to, do better with my talking. I'm an adult now, and sometimes I still mess up, but I'm way better than what I used to be, because I used to be stuttering like crazy. And it's those little things, those little defects that we may have as human beings. And sometimes those little defects, if they go untreated, they can become the worst of it, and we can go on like that forever until one day where we're just like, we end the game, and there's no such thing, because we got to keep on going. But I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna hand it over to Jason here.
So just like Jaden was saying, the core problem is mental health. Now, doctors and stuff, they might, bro, what the heck? That stuff's giving me a headache. That's why you guys see me over there touching my head. This smoke stuff's giving me a headache. But this, the heck, bro? But if doctors and stuff, they diagnose you with depression or something like that, or with anxiety, all that stuff, they're gonna give you medication for that stuff. And the thing is that medication, it only treats the symptom. Like it treats you, like you have these lows and these highs. It gets rid of the highs and the lows, and it leaves you with this weird, like, mellow feeling, when compared to when you try to solve the problem. The problem is your mental health. Okay, it's your brain, essentially. It's like, we have three different stages of health, you can say. We got our bodily health, physical health, and we got our mental health. Now you might be asking what the third health is, and that health is the health of our spirit, it's the health of our soul. So that might be a topic for another video, but mental health, that's what we're talking about now. So what is, as we said, what is the key, the solution to mental health? It's love. And what is the ultimate form of love? It's God. It's faith in God. Listen to a podcast the other day, and we're about to end it, but listen to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about a book of someone else who, he didn't believe in God, but he wrote this quote. He said, if you make anything of this world your God, you'll find it's going to end up coming back against you. He said, if you make your physical appearance your God, you end up hating how you look. If you make money your God, you end up wanting more. If you make, I'm trying to think of other ones, if you make food your God, you end up with diabetes. Anything in this world that you make your God, you'll be soon to find out, and unfortunately you'll find out that it's never fulfilling.
It has a harmful effect.
It's going to have some type of harmful effect. At the end of the day, it's going to bite you back. But he said, and this is coming from a guy who refused to believe in God. He said, but for some reason, if you make something external, something out of this realm, and by this he's talking about God, if you make that your God, you'll find it won't bite you back. It won't bite you back. And this came from a guy who didn't refuse to believe in God. By that, he was called an atheist. And he did, after reading this book, I don't know, I know he's dead now. So, I mean, we, being in the present, I don't know much about it. I just heard this on a podcast. Like, we can only think about what was his last words before his death. Like, we don't know what it was, but, like, what was it? Like, it could have been, maybe he told himself, I think I was wrong my entire life. And by that, maybe because at the end of life, just like the guy on the cross next to Jesus, maybe he gave his life to Jesus. at the end. I don't want to speak things that might have never happened, but you never truly know. So that's just a story from a podcast I learned the other day. But I think we're going to end it up here. From this whole video, I mean, the main thing is just, you're trying to, if you're still struggling with mental health, you know, we all are. You know, we all are. But it's the reason you're struggling at such an extent that you might be is because you're really trying to find the solution to your symptoms. It's like you're trying to, it's like, you know, people with acne and stuff, we talked about this in this car, you're trying to get all these products that might fix your acne and stuff. That's trying to find the solution to the symptom, but the problem of that is what you're eating. That's, when it comes to acne, it's just what you're eating. That's it. Maybe it has a little bit genetics, but like at the same time, you gotta think about this back in our ancestors. You really think these caveman people had acne? Like, bro, no, they didn't. I can 100% agree that our ancestors, you know, Abraham, they didn't have no acne. They probably had the smoothest face out there. I mean, I don't know. This is just me assuming, but yeah, that's it, guys. You guys have anything else to?
No, good job.
See you guys next week. Whether that's a podcast or not, I don't know. Check out our new basketball video too. That was like last week.
Yeah.
Pretty cool basketball video. We're gonna try to record more outside more often, but we're growing, guys. At the end of the day, we're trying to build a community of God, so of God-fearing people here. So see you guys next week.